Okay, what do we do next? Well, you make a list of all the things that you can do, all the life experiences that you have, the trade schools that you went to, the schools that you went to, the personal experiences that you've had. Maybe you were a cook at one time, or you know how to be a carpenter. Whatever that trade is, like I said, you make a list of that. And then you take that list and you look for employers. Now, you look for employers in newspapers or online, whatever, but you find employers that match your life skills. That's right. Match your life skills with the employers that you find. That's very important. Now, what you do then is after you do that, you put them together on one list. You put them together. You mix and match, but you make it fit. Now, if you find an employer that's looking for construction or carpentry and you have that experience, well, then put your carpentry experience underneath that list. You put together the list and then you write a resume. Now, am I talking about multiple resumes? Yes, I am. Make multiple resumes. Now, if you're an engineer, but you have experience as a carpenter, if you're a tool and die maker and you have experience being a draftsman, you take that and you emphasize what you do and what you can do for that employer. When you emphasize what you can do for the employer, the opportunity of getting hired is greater. It only makes sense because he may not be looking for an engineer, but he sees that you can be a carpenter. Well, you emphasize that. So am I saying making multiple resumes? Yes, I am. Make multiple resumes that really fits the employer that you're approaching. And let me tell you what, it will open up the field for you to get a job faster. Now, you're saying, I don't know how to do a resume, or how do I put something like that together? You could go to our website. When you go to the front page, and you'll see the website address right here, go to the front page and click on Help for You. There you're going to find job services that not only can help you put together resumes, but also help you find a job. That's what they're there for. Now, once you do that, you have all these different resumes going out. What happens? Well, the next step we're going to talk about. You go and knock on the door. Now, I mentioned about Matthew 7:7 a moment ago. Now, Matthew 7:7, it says, ask, seek, and knock. Let's apply that to what we're doing. Ask first the friends around you about, is there any job opportunities in the area that you've been working all these years? The different people that you've met along the way. Ask if there is a job opportunity that may be suited for you. Then turn around and ask for help when it comes down to unemployment, the Lone Star card, even the Gold card if you live in Harris County. You ask and get all those things together. You seek in your head the things that you know how to do. You seek it out. Sometimes you got to sit back and just think about it and seek it out in your brain. Okay, what is it that I've done in life that I can put on this list? And then you seek the employers that matches your personal traits and that you can do. That's what you do. So you ask, seek, and knock. Knock. What do you do? Well, you knock on the door of these employers with your resume. We're going to talk about that in a moment. So you're actually applying Matthew 7:7, okay, ask, seek, and knock, to your situation. Now, you're saying, Mark, what if I knock on the door and it opens up and I step in and it closes on me? What happens? I mean, is God abandoning me? What's going on here? Well, what happens here is that sometimes God wants you to be humble enough to accept what is offered to you in order to pay your bills. And not be filled with pride because I have this education or that education, or I've made this kind of money or I made that kind of money. God wants you to be humble enough to accept anything to take care of the necessities of life and take care of your family. Now, when he sees that, sometimes he'll close the door because he sees your obedience. But what happens then is that God will open up another door for you to be even more prosperous. So be patient and know that when the door closes, even though it seemed to be open, that it is a test. It is to see if you're humble enough to take anything to take care of your family. If you're willing to really be humble before God and be obedient. Sometimes it's there and it's kind of really not a comfortable feeling, especially when you're going through hard times and you're trying to pay your rent and feed your family. But sometimes God wants to say, let go of the pride and grab onto me. Simple as that. Well, we have more to talk about. We have talking about knocking on that door. So, by the way, when you put together all these resumes, get ready to spend 12 hours a day looking for that job because it is a job to find a job. Keep that in mind. Well, I'm going to go over here. Come on. Slowing down is not something you want to do when you're looking for a job. Because when you slow down, you start thinking. and you start getting depressed about, well, what did I do wrong? Why did I lose my job? And also, when you start looking for a job, you're going to get a lot of no's, and you're going to get depressed because you're going to get rejected. Am I really worth living, you may think? Yes, you are, because you're always going to get a no, but you're going to get that yes if you keep it up. And if you slow down, it ain't going to happen. You got to move forward with a lot of energy. Now, I already told you about having multiple resumes. That's important. Step 3, we'll call it. You need to go out and sell yourself. Now, Mark, I sent it out on the internet. That's a good thing. The internet, there's a lot of opportunities of getting a job that way. But it's also easier to hit delete on their end to get rid of you, and you never hear from them. The best thing to do is to call these employers, find out where their offices are, and see if you can make arrangements to drop by and give them your resume in the old-fashioned hand. And shake hands. Get to know these people. Let them see you. Okay? So when you have your resumes, not only hit the internet situation, but call them. See if you can deliver it. If you can't deliver it, they won't accept it, mail it to them. And if they have an email, email it to them. But send it to them in so many different ways, they have to get it, and they have it. I always believe in sending a hard copy to these companies because it's right there in their hands. They don't have to turn around and pull up their emails, and they're not tempted to hit delete. They got something that they can read. And if they meet you when you deliver the resume, even the better. Now, let's talk about how you should approach these employers when you're delivering your resumes. I think I'll get closer to the water. Yeah, I like it out here.